to another big story, and that is, of course, today at 12 o'clock we're going to find out what's going to happen to interest rates. Of course, the meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee, and the Bank of England looks set to raise interest rates at its meeting today at 12 o'clock, and it could be the biggest rise in 33 years. The market is pricing in a rise of 0.75%. That would make the base rate go up to 3%, because the bank is tightening monetary policy in a bid to tame inflation. Now, the extraordinary thing about this, of course, the idea was that we were going to have a statement from the Chancellor before this decision was made, but of course now it's been delayed to November the 17th with the autumn statement, so therefore the bank will not know what the government's plans are going to be, but the bank now has to act sort of just guessing what the government's plans will be, and that is leading to concerns that spending cuts and tax hikes could lead to a recession worse than previously forecast. Well, joining me now is Sally Mitchell, who's mortgage advisor at the Mortgage Mum. Good morning.
Morning.
So, are you expecting 0.75%?
Well, last week I was expecting 0.1 or 1.0. So to have between 0.5, 0.75 in the last couple of days predicted is actually quite welcome.
Right, just in terms of this, if the bank does this, it will be the 8th consecutive rate rise. I can't help but think the bank is always behind. And maybe you can explain this just in terms of why they're doing what they're doing. Certainly when you look at the United States, the Fed has just put up their rates by 0.75. Do you think that actually in terms of stability they should have intervened earlier and put the rates up higher in a bid to stem inflation?
It's really difficult to say, and I'm not an economist, but the effect that it has on the public, on Joe Public with his mortgage is just incredible. And I really wish that they had perhaps done it once, and then we could all settle and get on with it. But the constant roller coaster of products changing, products being withdrawn, people not knowing where they stand, is really destabilising.
Well, it is, and of course, for those people who are on variable mortgages, it's really frightening, as you rightly say. If you're on something like a £200,000 mortgage, if it does go up by 0.75%, it will go up by £84 a month. That's a lot of money to find.
It is, and that's a lot of people who will be affected. There's about 720,000 people on tracker mortgages that follow the base rate, and another nearly 1 million on standard variables. So they're the ones who are going to be hit immediately and really quite hard.
So just in terms of, and obviously you're giving advice the whole time, just in terms of those people, now is not the time to fix, is it?
Well, you'd be amazed. We have very long conversations always about the best option for clients, and these days it's taking a lot longer to get through the options of fixed versus tracker. But 9 times out of 10, the clients still want that stability and security that they know it's the same amount going out, it's not going to change, even if it's going to cost them a bit more.
Just in terms of your predictions, and it's incredible, I don't think the Bank of England knows what's going on, no. But just in terms of your predictions, if you are with a client, and clearly we will see more rate rises, I think that is pretty clear. They think that actually probably due to essentially what Jeremy Hunt's done, that maybe inflation will peak and therefore interest rates won't go as high as we previously thought. But I think it is pretty clear that they will go up, and probably again after today.
Yes, I agree. That would be a nice Christmas present, won't it?
Well, indeed.
If we get that again. I think there's very much, for me, sometimes the best action is inaction, which sounds incredibly torpid. It's not. There is a very much a wait and see period. If you can sit tight and just let it play out, it's probably the best option. Otherwise, trackers are looking quite attractive. They are a lot less than your average fixed at the moment. An average 2-year fix is coming out at 6.49, whereas an average tracker is about half that.
So that's really interesting, actually. Now, I think many people, as you rightly said, sort of thought, I have to do something fixed at a high rate, and actually they may well have been better to stick on a tracker.
Yeah. You don't have to. I mean, it depends on your individual circumstance. It doesn't suit everybody. But I can see that it's quite an attractive option. If you can shave a few £100s off your bill every month, just in the meantime until things do settle, because next year hopefully we will see rates coming down to between 4 and 5%. That should be the new norm by the end of 23. They're obviously much higher than that now. But if you can weather this weird sort of shipwreck storm of a moment, then you might be in a very good position to take your pick in a few months' time.
Very wise words indeed. Thank you so much for joining me. That's Sally Mitchell, mortgage advisor at The Mortgage Mum. Lots of messages coming in. This one, what a lovely surprise to see you this morning, David, and see you presented. Love how you get to the point and ask the right questions. How very kind of you. This is Talk TV.